Hello everyone, I'm making this video to explain my break. Um, I think it's been 4 days, 5 days maybe, a week maybe, since my last recording session. I took a break because one of my one of my heroes died. Um, that would be Akira Toriyama. Now, I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Um, I know that in English you say Akira Toriyama. I usually say it in Spanish because I grew up with him in Spanish. I watched Dragon Ball in Spanish, and I he was my hero. You know, I grew up on Dragon Ball, and I remember taking so much of it to heart and the beautiful message that it had. Um, I know some people have been making videos of, or not videos, but tweets, just some dumb stuff like slandering him or things like that, like saying he wasn't influential. My guy, he was he was amazing. you know, yeah, maybe Dragon Ball was his biggest and only manga, but doesn't have to be many to be special. You know, it's like there's one Lord of the Rings, um, and just I grew up on those values, I guess you could say. I don't know if you consider them that, but I do remember when I was a kid and and just trying to be good at something and always having that in my mind, like no matter how good you get, there will always be someone better than you. And I remember, I think Master Roshi said that, and I remember, you can look at that and be like, oh, that's kind of depressing, but at the same time, no, it's beautiful because you always have something to reach. You always have someone to reach. And you might not know them, you might not see them, they might not be even real, but they're there. And I guess that's also why I have such a. I wouldn't say. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say I have a good work ethic, even to my adulthood, because I know that um, maybe I might not be the best at editing, making thumbnails, and doing everything. Um, but I still work hard, and I still try my best on things here and there. Um, am I lazy sometimes? Yes, but I just I didn't. I remember seeing the news of it and just kind of being sad. And then as the day passed, it kind of just slowly got, more difficult. I think it was also because um, it was hard for me to record. And it was hard for me to digest that um, he had passed away. And I'm not gonna say that I was the biggest fan and I followed all his work. I have not read Doctor Slump, or I have not read any of his other works. Um, I'm not gonna lie and be like, "Oh, I was there from the start and I was there till the finish." No, I was not, and I'm gonna be honest about that. Um, but I always had him in my heart, and I think to me, I think that matters. And having him, having him gone is hard. It's also weird because it's like I'm crying for someone I never met. But but yeah, I also before recording this didn't think I was gonna cry this much. Jesus, oh thank God I don't have a face cam. Um, jeez, but yeah, he. Um, I remember. Yeah, I remember the times I'd sit on my couch or on the living room back in Mexico, and I'd have my dad's iPad, and I'd just watch episode after episode of Dragon Ball GT, which a lot of people didn't like. I was a kid. I couldn't tell. I couldn't separate water from honey. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see any. I couldn't differentiate between good or bad. I just thought this is amazing. You know this. I get more Dragon Ball, and I also back home I have like little figurines of Dragon Ball Dragon Ball characters. I have the Dragon Ball manga when Goku was a kid. I've thought about buying the Dragon Ball Z ones, but I don't know. I've kind of been on the fence about that for a long time. Um, because I think I'm like I want to keep my experience with Dragon Ball Z um with the anime, and I want to keep the um child Goku um on as a manga. And I remember reading them over and over and over again. I don't usually do that. For me, I usually just read a book and then call it a day. Not a day, but like, I'm like, okay, that was a good book. I don't think I'm ever rereading it again. But with Dragon Ball, I just reread it and reread it and reread it, and I have not read it in a long time. I was thinking maybe I should pick them back up and reread them again. Um, but it's gonna be different. And I've cried on those manga books before. I don't remember why I was crying. I think, like I said, he was a big part of my life. So I think at one point I was very depressed, and I was reading them, and just you know being transported to this beautiful world. Thankfully, though, he didn't take the magic of it away. His memory is still lives on through Dragon Ball, and his magic is still there. It's a bit different, but it's still there. I hope this video doesn't come off as cringy or anything like that. Just just kind of wanted to have something on my channel about him because he was a big part of my life. Well, I guess he still is because I still go by some of the values um, that the they talk about and things like that. But anyway, I think I'm rambling on. Um, yeah, that's why I was missing. I'm gonna try and get back into recording again. Um, but yeah, I if you're grieving as well, we could grieve together. I don't know. Just, I mean, it was also um, I made friends through Dragon Ball as well. And I still have deep connections. May not or deep connections, not strong connections, but deep. You know what I mean? With different people and things like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Dragon Ball was such a big influence in the world, and not only just in the world of anime, like it's just in the world in general. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked the video. Comment down if you have any stories about how Dragon Ball helped you out, or how you know how much you love or how much you're gonna love how much love you have for um the universe, and or maybe how much you're gonna miss Akira Toriyama. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.